Hello, I'm Brian Downs, and this is a Republic if you can keep it. I'm coming to you from Orlando, Florida on the 3rd of December, 2025. It's about 25 minutes after 4 in the afternoon. Let's talk about Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. An idiot, laughably unqualified from his position from the first, but handpicked by Donald Trump for his ass-kissing loyalty, and confirmed by Trump's cronies. Hegseth, of course, up to his ears in the Signalgate controversy, which shows that he's absolutely and without doubt totally unqualified for his position and ought to be fired and possibly jailed. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today is the Caribbean Sea filling up with bodies. Pete Hegseth, of course, is the leading personality in the idiotic and barbarically stupid campaign to try to shoot our way out of the illegal narcotics problem. So far, the United States has killed 80 or 90 people blowing up small boats in the Caribbean that Pete Hegseth and the Department of War claim are involved in drug trafficking. These small boats never got within 1,000 miles of the United States and certainly lack the range to do so. We're talking about craft that are 30 feet long or so. So, also they were unarmed, their crews are unarmed, and the suggestion that they present a lethal force threat, the sort of threat that is rightly responded to with missiles, is, I don't know how many times I can say idiotic in the same video, but I'm going to have to say it at least once more. Idiotic. The entire campaign, in my opinion, is illegal. We're not at war with Venezuela. It is illegal to use military force for a police problem, which is how we treat the war on drugs, although it should be treated as a medical problem, but that's a discussion for another day. It's absurdly expensive to conduct kinetic military operations to destroy these small craft. But this is what Secretary of War Hegseth has chosen to do, and in so doing, very likely committed murder dozens of times over. Now, the September 2nd attack on one particular craft, wherein the craft was struck with a missile, devastated with a missile, the flaming wreckage was drifting in the ocean with 2 survivors clinging to it, and it was then subsequently struck with a second missile, has drawn a lot of attention. I say that the entire campaign is illegal, and so to say that these 2 murders are stacked on top of the 80 or so other murders already perpetrated is a relatively small matter. But I do want to discuss the total uselessness of it. This is what sticks out to me. As I have explained in other videos and briefly summarized just now, this campaign will not solve the problem of illegal narcotics. It won't come anywhere close to it. It will be expensive, it will be bloody, it will be controversial, it will cause many more problems than it solves, because it will solve none. And yet Pete Hegseth says, kill them all. Pete Hegseth gave a verbal order, kill them all. And so the admiral in charge of the operation fired the second missile. Now, of course, Secretary Hegseth is trying to wiggle out of responsibility. Oh, well, I didn't, exactly order the second missile to be fired. I just said, kill them all. And then they did kill them all. How was I to know that when I said kill them all, that's what my subordinates would do? If, of course, that is what happened. Who knows if any of these people telling the truth. But Secretary Hegseth decided, kill them all. At best, he is not thinking when he issues orders to his subordinates in a kinetic military operation with huge amounts of firepower at his disposal. If you didn't literally mean kill them all, Pete, If you only meant kill them all as, oh, I don't know, some kind of joke or quip, maybe you should have made that more clear. Maybe you shouldn't be making jokes and quips like that when the person you're speaking to has his finger on a missile battery button. But probably what Hegseth meant was kill them all, because Pete Hegseth is a child who thinks that you can solve very complicated problems like the economics of addictive narcotics with enough bullets and missiles. And so he says, kill them all. And now a missile was used to kill these 2 survivors floating in the water. This is against the rules of warfare and basic decency. But Pete Hegseth wanted it done, or something very much like it done. That's why you say kill them all. And the 2 people who were killed in the double tap, the last 2 people killed in the double tap operation, were crew members on what is allegedly a small drug smuggling boat. They were not Bond villains. They were not masterminds. They were not the head of their cartel. They were crew members on a small boat. They were probably men who were coerced one way or the other into the position, either through simple economic necessity, or of course it's not unusual for cartels to recruit people by threatening to shoot their sister. And so, Secretary of War Hegseth has chosen, number 1, to use up a very expensive missile, number 2, to behave like a barbarian in order to kill 2 people who were of very little consequence to the cartel. 2 people who could be replaced tomorrow. Not high-ranking commanders, 2 crewmen on a small boat. This is something about Donald Trump and all who follow him that has often baffled me. One of the many things is that their return on investment meter, their risk versus reward meter, is broken. How was this ever the choice? I'm going to give illegal orders, causing great controversy, by the way. There have been resignations in the military recently. An admiral resigned in order to avoid the possibility of being ordered to do murder. I'm going to give illegal orders. I'm going to break the rules of warfare and the laws of decency. Because I have big brass balls and nobody tells Pete Hegseth what he can do. I can order things blown up. I am going to create all this expense and all this controversy to accomplish nothing. Because I'm the sort of fool who works for Donald Trump.